What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about DOGE, Dogecoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 20th day of August, and we are sitting here at about 21.1 cents, 17 minutes left in this 4-hour time frame. I thought I was on the daily, darn it. 20 hours, 17 minutes left. There we go. Looking like we have found the low. I think that we are at our low area. If we're not at the low, the same precaution that I've given on basically any coin that I've called the low for in the past, like 12 hours now, is that we're very close. If this isn't the low, we're pretty damn close. We gotta be. I mean, we're in the golden ratio. What we're looking for is a proper reaction out of here. If we go lower, the lowest I'd give us is 19.5 cents, but I don't see that happening. I mean, 20 cents maybe it happens, the 786. But what we're looking for today is a close above the golden ratio. We want to get above, basically, you want to get above this area that you're at right now. Just a little bit higher. Get above 21.2 cents, let's say. Okay, you're at 21.7 cents now, a little bit below there even. Move on up. Once we get above this 382, that would, in my opinion, validate this low. Technically, it's the 236 that validates the low, but whatever. We'll be a little preemptive on this one. I think looking at this overall trend that we're in, this massive trend that we're in to the upside, is validating enough to the idea that we probably move up. I think we're getting set up for some kind of W-shaped pattern here, and then we'll move up to glory and riches, my friends. It's going to be a phenomenal time. Let's look at the short-term stuff, see if we can validate that this is the low. I'm a little bit. I'm not as excited as I thought I would be, only because, and it took me some time. It took me some time with Bitcoin. Let me just explain here, okay? We were expecting this shakeout, and up here we were talking about going to 116.5 to 114.5K. Once we got to about 116, we're like, okay, we're probably going to go below 114K. And finally today I call for the low. Right, I got excited, thought that things were looking good. We're going to close out some liquidations, but I'm looking at this 24-hour liquidation level here, and we're still piling on the longs, you guys, for Bitcoin. We got about $2 billion of longs piled on in the past 24 hours, and we're dumping. Like, what are we doing? We're feeding the bears. And don't get me wrong, the shorts are piling on at a faster rate, and we will turn this boat around soon enough. But that's the number one coin. Number two, Ethereum, you also have $1 billion piled on. What are you doing? What are we doing here, man? That's not ideal. You want the longs to be decimated. You want people's hopes and dreams to be crushed, so much so that they don't have the balls to go long. They're panicking and they're going short at the bottom. Like these guys. We need more of these guys, and they're definitely outweighing the longs, but in comparison, they're definitely being outweighed, but $1 billion, man, that's still a lot in a 24-hour period on the number two, which is at like a $500 million market cap. That's a lot of money. $500 billion, sorry, not $1 million. Anyways, other than that, worrying me a little bit. That's the one thing that's not making me too excited. I was expecting more of a decimation of longs, like a desert plain of longs, and just an overcompensation of shorts, which we have half of that at least. But all I'm saying there is, if we go lower, don't get discouraged. It's not a problem. We're near the low. We're 90%, if not 99.9% of the way there, right? We're basically there. But at this moment, I feel pretty safe in calling for this to be the low. Being fair, though, in all fairness, this is not the reaction that you want to see on a 1-hour time frame. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame, too. That's not necessarily the reaction you want to see, but it's new. It's new. Let's give it time to develop, okay? Let's give it time. Let's give it time, okay? If we're looking at this here, we are below this trend line, and typically you do look to find support below these trend lines, not at them. So the fact that we're having this kind of reaction, I actually do like this. I don't have a problem with that. If we're looking at this on the 1-hour time frame coming back down, and we look at the indicators once it loads, here we are. The RSI does have bullish divergence. Well, it does not have bullish divergence, actually, but a bit of a double bottom nonetheless in the oversold zone. We've made that move, though, already up. Yeah. Stochastics are bearish to some degree, but coming out of the oversold zone is nice. We need to push higher. And with that 1-hour candle looking the way that it does, I don't know if we will push higher. Hopefully we do push higher because, man, if we turn around here in the RSI or the stochastics, I mean, it doesn't mean that we're detrimental. It just means that we would see a lower low. And hopefully build some bullish divergence there. Maybe that's what we do. We get a slightly lower low. I don't know. The MACD, is that a green? Do we have a green? We have a little tiny green dot there. How quaint, how cute. And we do have bullish divergence on the MACD, which is nice. But the MACD can, bullish divergence on the stochastics, I would say, is more significant than the MACD. Bullish divergence on the RSI is more significant than either of them. The MACD is kind of the least significant with that. Not that it's least significant, it can build more layers, and it normally does build more layers. So one drive does not do it for me. It doth butter no parsnips. as some people would say. But the RSI, if we came back down, we saw a slightly lower low with a higher low in the RSI. That bullish divergence to me, double bullish divergence on the MACD and some bullish divergence on the stochastics as well altogether. I could see that happening. I could really see that happening. So let's just see here real quick. Low to high. I mean, hell, go to 20.7 cents. Do it. Whatever. Do it. Find support there, 20.3 cents. I doubt you go below 20 cents, but even if you do, it'd be barely, right? You're very, very near your low. I'm starting to think that you're not there, but don't hate me if we are and we start to rip from here. I mean, at any moment now, and let me be clear here what I'm saying too. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. This is a perfect area to buy. I don't care if we go below 20 cents. This is a perfect area to buy because the move up afterwards, or we might not even go down, the move up that's coming, it's going to eclipse whatever the bears got in store for us right now. Most of this move is done. It's done. It's a perfect time to buy. Don't let anything stop you, right? You buy here, you wake up tomorrow and it's down to 19.9 cents. You might feel like, oh, why didn't I wait? But then you wake up the next day and it's up to 25 cents. You're like, okay, who cares? It's not a big deal. People are going to think you're a genius for buying at this price, right? Really, this is the best price to buy since the beginning of the month, since August 7th. It really is. It's a great time to buy. If we're looking at this on the 4-hour time frame here, we are bouncing potentially off of the oversold zone. That's nice. See, the 4-hour looks a little bit better than the 1-hour does, honestly. It's a little bit of a difference of opinions here. 11 minutes left. A lot can happen. You can definitely move down in 11 minutes, but that's a good look. Bouncing off the oversold zone is nice. Stochastics look bearish. MACD looks bearish. Let's see what you do. Getting bearish readings outweighed 2-to-1 on these indicators, but the RSI is the one that I lean on the most. And if we're looking at this here, let's pretend you do go lower. Even if you do go lower, you're kind of at a point where it might make sense to bounce. So come up a little bit. Do that. We'll see what you do with this point of resistance here, okay? Prior support becomes resistance. We'll see what you do with this. If you come up and you find resistance at about 21.7 cents, you might go a little bit lower and form that bullish divergence we were talking about. If you come up and you find resistance at 22.1 cents, 22.2 cents, and come lower, you might find that bullish divergence we were talking about. If you break above there, but you don't close above there, and then you close below this line, and then you come back down, that's probably what would happen. But if you close above this on a 4-hour time frame, in fact, if you get 2 4-hour candles in a row to close above about 22.2 cents, I think we found our low, and I think that it's time to start celebrating. We're going to sing Kumbaya and rock the bears to sleep. It's time to wake up the bulls and send it all the way to the freaking moon, you guys. I think that we are going to be moving up to the moon. We look at this on a daily perspective, maybe even a weekly perspective. Let's do that. The weekly time frame is completely bullish, absolutely immaculate. We're in the right area to buy, right? If we're looking at this as a trend, it's higher lows, higher highs. We're at the base of this trend. Absolutely. I didn't draw the lines the best. I don't have that gift of drawing straight lines, unfortunately. But we are definitely in the lower channels of this channel. We're in the lower limits of this channel here, right at the areas that you'd expect to bounce. We've got a whole lot of growth to go, and I think when we do grow, if we take I want to take the original high to low and compare it to the most relevant high to low. Okay, so high to low here, that's the original, like end of bear market pivotal moment high to low right there. Come on, man. Come on, there we go. Okay, hit the 1886, bounce at the 886. Look at that respect. Don't you love that? I love it whenever something like that happens. Whenever you get this 1886 resistance and you find support at the 886, it's 1886 to 886. So oftentimes you go from the golden ratio to the golden ratio to the golden ratio to the golden ratio. Like that, that'll happen too. I shouldn't say oftentimes, but sometimes that happens in very volatile market conditions. But here we are at the 1272. Might we run all the way up to the 2272? And typically with the 2272, we can go up just a little bit above there. Okay, keep that in mind. We could go a little bit above there. And with that in mind, we take a high to a low here. The 1272 is just a little bit above there. 1272 here, 1272 there, finding support, finding resistance. I don't know, 2272 there on that same fib. It might make sense. 69 cents could be the next area that we find resistance at. We're at 21 cents now. If not there, then my assumption would be that it's only because we moved higher instead. And if we go higher, $1.09 looks to be a nice ripe higher target. Maybe we reach for the stars. We see $1.60 to $1.26. After all, from our bull market high to our bear market low, that is where our 1272 is. From that's where the minimum target is right there. So it's pretty possible. But that's a lot of movement, man. Dogecoin's got it in it, man. It's got that dog in it. That's for damn sure. But as far as like a 5 or a 7x move goes, I don't know, man. This thing's it's like a multi-billion-dollar meme coin. You know, like that's a lot. That's a lot to ask in a very short amount of time. I wouldn't be surprised if we get there. I think inevitably we're going to get there. I don't think that we're going to see that move happen between now and like the end of September. By the end of September, I would expect it at 69 cents to $1.09, and if it's not the end of September, then it's going into October. But something between here and there, we should see some very bullish stuff. By the end of Q3, if not the very first month of Q4, we should be at about 70 cents to $1.10, okay? All in all, might move a little bit lower first. I'm rethinking all of my low calls today. I'm like, oh, we might see slightly lower lows again, but one way or another, guys, we're at the lows. Don't let that stop you from buying. This is perfect buying opportunities, buying zones right here. I'm not calling the low on Dogecoin just because from what I've seen, I think that it is going lower, but that doesn't change the outcomes for everything else, right? Dogecoin is not the arbiter of truth. I mean, Ethereum looks fine. Bitcoin's looking good so far. You know, maybe Doge is just being a little bit volatile, and that's okay. I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.